Hello everyone and welcome to our round 3 coverage out here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. I'm your host Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, and we are on hole number 10 during the third round for our Open Men's Division. We've got quite a leader card for you, including Ricky Wysocki, Paul McBeth, Kelvin Heimburg, and Zach Melton. They're through 9 of the holes. We're picking them up on the back half of the course because the front half of the course, well, it really isn't conducive to live disc golf coverage. So here we are. They're just walking up on the tee. We're going to bring it to you. This is hole number 10, featuring stroke and distance, which you're going to see on holes 10 and 11 and hole 14. Again, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. Let's get to the action. And Paul McBeth has thrown a beautiful shot here on hole number 10. Paul currently sitting at 24 under par. And Wysocki asking for that to stop. He's carried wide to the right and gets a red flag. And Zach Melton's tee shot is filtering through. And Kelvin Heimburg's forehand checks up nicely for him. This is Ricky. And Ricky Wysocki's third shot from the tee finds himself in the middle of the fairway. Just a few moments ago, I watched the third card tee off from here and watched Eric McCabe throw OB 3 times before making it into the fairway on his 4th drive. We are playing stroke and distance rules out here on the holes that are marked with this yellow rope. You're going to 10, 11, and 14. Logic and reason behind that, according to our tournament director, Nate Heinold, is that he wanted to make these players have to think and get a little bit nervous. This is a high pressure, high stakes, largest payout in PDGA history, and he wanted to increase the pressure and challenge for these players on these otherwise somewhat easy holes. And Wysocki, although good from more than 35 feet, certainly frustrated. Calvin Heimburg's going to capitalize on his solid shot. Zach Melton with no problems. Paul McBeth is a mere 6 feet from the pin. And an easy two. We're going to see a serious scoring change take place here after hole number 10. We're glad you could join us. This is SmashBoxx TV's bonus coverage, bringing you the leader card in the Open Division. We're out here at Northwood Park. Paul McBeth has teed for a second time here on hole number 11. This 295-foot shot has OB left, right, and beyond the basket. He had initially thrown one of his white McPro Rock threes. However, it had flipped up on him and carried to the right and OB. Zach Melton will be first to putt. And no problems for Zach. And McBeth is in for the bogey 4. Heimburg is in and will be Wysocki. We will see 3 birdie 2s and a penalty 4 by Paul McBeth. And Zach Melton making this hole look very easy with that lefty forehand shot. This is a blind right to left hyzer for a righty backhand thrower, measuring in just under 300 feet. Calvin Heimburg, very effective there. And McBeth making a slight correction from the throw we saw him yesterday. Ricky Wysocki lining up his putt from inside 30 feet. And light right corner pocket and in for Wysocki. This is certainly a hole that our competitors count on for getting the birdie too. We see McBeth less than 15 feet. Kelvin Heimburg is up to putt next. And again, Zach Melton with a very effective lefty forehand shot. He ends up being closest to the pin. And we see 4 birdies out of 4 attempts from our competitors on hole number 12. Very sizable gallery that is following along with this second card.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job. Go in. Oh.
For me, it's all about the exercise.
For me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
Plastic Addicts, Illinois' largest disc golf store with over 5,000 discs in inventory and 2 locations. Our main store is in North Pekin, right off of Interstate 474. The second location is conveniently located just across the street from Bradley Park in Peoria. We carry all major disc brands, bags, custom apparel, stools, baskets, and more. Plastic Addicts is proud to support local tournaments, courses, and players from all over the country. Plastic Addicts, for all your disc golf cravings.
Back, everyone. I have caught up with one of our favorite Smashies. That's Jordan Castro. Jordan, I played with you a few weeks ago at the World Championships. One of us went one direction, one went the other, and I'm not talking about the band. You shot very well, had a great performance.
Thank you.
Is that from watching the podcast every Tuesday? Tell us what's going on.
A little bit of both. Just playing well, practicing, just working hard, just shooting some golf. Just awesome. I love it.
Well, you talked about traveling around. I know Paige Bjorkis and a few other people were travel mates. What's that been like as you've been touring around this season?
It's been fun. Been meeting a lot of people, just catching up with some old friends. So just an awesome experience for first time. So just awesome.
Now we're here at the Ledgestone Open, and this isn't as much of a hike for you. You're probably looking at less than 8 hours to get to this event. What else is on your radar for events this year? Are you kind of wrapping things up?
Yep, wrapping things up, just kind of slowing down, just I don't know, just trying to stay local now, so because everything's just pretty much done for me. Got a couple weddings, just staying local.
What kind of pressure is it like? You come from Minnesota where there's a lot of great courses and obviously a lot of great players. Are you feeding off of those players? Are you getting tips and lessons, or is that pressure every weekend you show up and play?
A little bit of both. Kale's been helping me, so it's kind of nice. And I got a lot of local pros, a lot of everybody in the Twin Cities, so they've been helping me, just supporting me here and there. So it's kind of nice. I like it.
All right. Tell everybody where you are on Tuesday nights around 9 o'clock Central Time.
I am watching Terry's SmashBoxx podcast every night.
All right, that's Jordan Castro. We wish him the best of luck here at the Ledgestone Insurance Open. Let's get back to the action. In at 603 feet. This is a par 4, and in just a few moments our leader card is going to be ready to tee off. We have Paul McBeth sitting at 25 under par, Zach Melton and Ricky Wysocki tied at 21 under par, and Kelvin Heimburg at 19 under par. Zach Melton on the tee. Zach Melton waiting for that roller to stand up, and it looks like it was just about to. Kelvin Heimburg throwing a Star Destroyer. Oh, and Kelvin Heimburg may have had enough distance to reach the pin with that. Gets caught up on the left. This is a Vision by Ricky Wysocki. And that's looking to stand up for Ricky Wysocki, waiting for all of the gallery to step aside. And a huge roller. The gallery likes it. Paul McBeth throwing a Star Destroyer. And McBeth also needing players and spectators to step aside. More than enough heat on that. However, it took a awkward bounce that he wasn't anticipating. We hope you're enjoying our bonus coverage. Originally, we did not think it would be possible to be out here this afternoon after covering this morning's women's leader card round over at Sunset Hill, so we're glad you could tune in and join us here this afternoon. We're out at Northwood Park in Morton, Illinois. Of course, we are with our A-Pool leader card. Paul McBeth currently sitting 25 off to a 4-stroke lead. At least the rest of the competitors on his group. This morning we had plenty of excitement. Valerie Jenkins starting off the round with a long throw-in on her very first hole. And on the very final hole of the round, Jessica Weiss smashing chains with a forehand shot on hole number 11. Unfortunately, finished right underneath the basket. She had to settle for a birdie. And Kelvin hanging out to the right with a champion Firebird playing the skip. And just past the basket. Zach Melton with a standstill approach shot. Comes up just short. And McBeth throwing a champion Mako 3 to within a few feet of the pin. And Wysocki with an eagle opportunity comes up just short. Rarely do you see a chance at eagle from here. All four of our competitors in position to card birdie threes. Heimburg is in from 22 feet. McBeth is in. And Melton and Ricky Wysocki both in. Everybody birdies here on hole number 13, making it look very easy on this 600-foot par 4. If you'd like to go out and support any of our bonus coverage here today, you're welcome to do so. You can go to SmashBoxxTV/support. If you'd like to make any form of contribution, completely voluntary, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. We'll keep doing it. We're here for you guys. Hope you're enjoying all of this Ledgestone Insurance Open.
Yeah. So like
able to, I don't know what the heck you're about to do.
This one hasn't done that. I've had it for a while. But yeah, I know they were really unstable. Yeah. Something happened to them.
Yeah. I was just curious because the one thing I was wacky was that I was like an overstable route.
The diamond is really unstable. It's like a little bit of gel. Because they have flat ones too. This one's really soft.
That would be great.
I trimmed it out.
Here you go. How's it going? Joining me here off the tee, actually I think we're just about ready, so maybe we're going to have to do this in a moment. I want to introduce Bob Julio from Team Discraft. Bob, we're going to catch up with you. We're going to put a name to the face and all of that, so everybody knows. We're going to let them tee off, and as we traverse down the fairway here on 14, you and I are going to have a conversation. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, get ready. Get ready. This is going to be some hard-hitting stuff. All right. Looks like they're live, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get back to the action, and I will be talking with Bob Julio of Team Discraft in just a few moments. And Zach Melton somehow the tree branch that's on the high left side. Calvin Heimburg giving him a high five for that. What a great miss there. And Calvin just barely missing some of the gallery members and our camera crew. Again, we are here on hole 14 as Ricky Wysocki is throwing his tee shot. That looks to be very nice. Hole 14 measures in at 321 feet with stroke and distance rules in effect. it looks as if Paul McBeth is safe. However, he knew he was very close to throwing a perfect shot there. Heimburg's second shot does not hyzer up for him. He's going to go back to the tee, and this will be throwing his third tee shot. And after some adjustments, Heimburg has thrown a very nice tee shot. And as I had promised, I'm going to walk down the fairway here and give you some updates from our team Discraft manager in Bob Julio. And Bob, it looks like everyone would pronounce it Julio, so I just took the liberty on myself, and you're saying it's really Julio. But glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's always been Julio, but I do go by Julio also, so that's fine.
I'm sure could be called worse, so we're going to keep it clean here. You're taking in all the action. Tell us a little bit about Discraft and your involvement with this tournament this year and what it's meant for you and the company.
Yeah, I'm team manager, so working with Nate's been fairly easy because we were already friends to begin with, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress, but it's great getting to this point and seeing everything come together and seeing all the happy people out here.
Well, there has been a lot of happy people. I think there's going to be even more come Sunday when some checks are written, and that also includes a check of more than $20 going to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We're going to stand down for just a moment. Paul McBeth for his birdie. And Paul McBeth, in just disgusting fashion, is good from more than 55 feet. What a shot by McBeth. And out of his hand, Heimburg thought he had that solid putt. Zach Melton pacing off exactly how many steps away from the basket he is. And the reason Zach Melton sits on the leader card after putts like that, Ricky Wysocki is going to have a little bit more challenge here, although he is closest to the pin of the four competitors. He has an obstructed view, and he must lean out to his left-hand side for this putt. And Wysocki's attempt is off the top of the basket. Again, Bob, we were talking about the sizable checks to both the players as well as to charity. Discraft has been involved with a number of things outside of your big events. You've got the Ace Race right around the corner, for instance. Tell us a little bit about what that means to Discraft and how people can get involved.
Yeah, I mean, Discraft's really stepping up, doing whatever we can to help grow these events and grow the sport. And there's a lot of hard work that goes, behind the scenes, and it's great to see everything paying off. Nate's definitely a big part of the family and doing everything he can. So, yeah, no, we really appreciate it, and it's awesome.
It has been really good to see. We're also seeing one of the main Discraft, we'll say he's been a staple at Discraft, and Nate Doss performed very well out here yesterday. Came out here and is sitting just a few cards back, and a number of Team Discraft players performing well this week. You got any top picks for who you think is going to come on the top of the Discraft family?
Joe Hansen's doing really good up there. I was walking with Doss earlier. He was shooting lights out, actually. So, I mean, we got about 30 guys here. So
some pretty good odds. Nate Heinold, though, will not be one of the top finishers.
No,
Okay.
Nate Heinold, he's the best looking one, but he probably won't be the best performer.
No, that is not sure if that's good or bad here for the team, but thanks to Bob Giulio for all the info.
Thanks, Terry.
We'll catch up with you later, Bob. Melton coming up a bit short. This hole is 270 feet with a very sharp green. And fading left is McBeth's drive with his rock. And Calvin Heimburg throwing a champion rock that's headed straight toward the pin. And the gallery erupts. Great shot by Calvin Heimburg. And Zach Melton has a small fan club here asking for his last approach to get in. He was hoping it would as well. This is about to be a very congested green. Thankfully for Kelvin, he'll have no distractions here with his mere 10-foot putt. Paul McBeth, on the other hand, has carried deep past the basket. Not sure if Paul's even going to have a real clean look at this shot. And looks like something may have caught him. Earlier in the week, Paul had gone to see a doctor at an urgent care as he has a small abscess of some sorts in his elbow, his right elbow. They didn't want to cut into his arm too far. However, he had showed me updates throughout the previous few days, including just a few minutes ago. He still has a small abscess in his elbow. And right now it looks like he's fighting off some leaves and possibly even some spider webs. And a tree between him and the basket jumped out in front of that putt for him. Ricky Wysocki is off on our right-hand side. And ultimately, Wysocki takes a knee, hits off the side of the basket, and then rolls to 20 feet. And McBeth frustrated with himself as he has just turned that possible birdie opportunity into a bogey here on hole number 15. And Ricky Wysocki taking his time to decide which angle he's going to use here. And Wysocki is good. Heimburg is finally able to tap in for his birdie too. And McBeth with a bogey 4 and Melton with a 3. So threes by Wysocki and Melton, a bogey by Paul McBeth, and a birdie 2 by Calvin Heimburg. We're going to take a brief walk. We'll be back with you in just a few moments. You're watching our bonus coverage right here at the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open, presented by Discraft.
me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
Oh,
For me, it's all about the exercise.
for me, it fits into my busy lifestyle.
For me, it's my passion.
For us, it doesn't cost much to play.
For me, it's fun.
Back to us.
Yes, sir.
And Calvin Heimburg just misses the slightly crooked tree here on the right-hand side of the fairway. Very nice looking shot there by Zach Melton. And Ricky Wysocki nearly mimics Melton's previous throw. This is Paul McBeth with a Star Destroyer. Paul's looking for that to turn to the right, and it gets caught up. He will be in the opening, however, certainly not as much turn as he was hoping for. Again, just 3 holes to play here during our bonus round coverage. This is the final 9 holes of the round 3 out here at Northwood Park. We'll see you guys all tomorrow morning as you tune in. We will be at Lake Eureka, the temporary course designed by our tournament director, Nate Heinold. Lake Eureka has received a number of different reviews. Some players finding it almost too challenging. We'll have to see how our best players in the world fare on that course. Everybody's looking for a check of more than $6,000 to the winner out here tomorrow. And Paul McBeth going with a Star Destroyer. Wysocki with a standstill forehand. Looks like he might have needed a little bit more power on that. He's going to be just a bit short. The gallery likes it. We've also caught word that Simon Lizotte has officially tied Paul McBeth here for the lead. He's having a tremendous round out here at Northwood Park. And Zach Melton has a nearly perfect approach shot. And Calvin's very long drive sets him up for a pretty simple approach shot here. He's looking at a birdie 3 on hole number 16. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. We are glad to have you as our Smashies, taking in the live broadcast here at this PDGA National Tour event. This is the second to last National Tour stop of the 2015 season. Paul McBeth has placed well in every National Tour stop. He says if he can finish in the top 3 here, he may have it locked up in terms of the National Tour. And although McBeth was nearly 40 feet short, he makes it look easy. I'd like to send a huge shout out and thanks to Morton Christensen from Denmark, who has made a donation to the SmashBoxxTV production. Again, Morton Christensen, we appreciate the love and support all the way from Denmark. We're so glad that you could tune in and take this all in this weekend. We enjoy bringing everyone live disc golf coverage around the world. Make sure you also tune in on Tuesday nights for our live podcast, both Johnny V and myself, 9 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday nights. And albeit a little high and left, Zach Melton is still in on his birdie. as is Calvin. Solid play here on hole 16. I believe we saw 4 birdies by our leader card. I'd like to also have everyone...
Together.
Hole 17 is a 330-foot uphill shot with a narrow fairway. It opens once you get to the green. However, it is a very narrow fairway with a hillside, a valley, and another hillside to carry past.
I needed that too. Are those actually considered B? I don't know, it might be a yellow jacket, I don't know. Why are you going to piss it off?
Trying to save you. It looked like a really big sweat is what it looked like.
See a new adjustment here on our PDGA Tour board. Paul McBeth sitting at 27 under par, Zach Melton at 24 under par, Ricky Wysocki at 23, Calvin Heimburg at 17. Looks like there may be a slight correction. Calvin at 18 under par. As I had mentioned earlier, it sounded as if Simon Lizotte has been on a tear here this round, pulling into in striking distance here of Paul McBeth. Paul McBeth here keeping tabs on the scores himself, seeing that Simon Lizotte sitting at 26 under par. Correction, he wasn't just looking at the scores, I was making that up. We'd like to also remind everyone as you're watching the Hole 17 action that you should be able to log into the Disc Golf Guy video blog channel. Check out the condensed versions of today's leader card rounds. This morning the competitors were at Northwood Park, which features essentially 0 cell phone coverage or signal. Therefore we were able to record their round in its entirety. We'll have that for your viewing pleasure, as well as the round this afternoon in its entirety. Check out the Disc Golf Guy video blog channel for all of that coverage. Yesterday's round here at Northwood will be available in its entirety in a matter of hours. The front 9 from yesterday has already been posted. The back 9 is loading up as we speak. As part of our social media blitz, we'd also like you to take pictures of where and how you are consuming our live SmashBox TV coverage. We've seen some very creative and fun-looking situations and scenarios. We've seen people at beaches. We've seen people on planes. Take a shot, take a screenshot, or let us know how you and or your friends are all gathered around watching live disc golf right here on SmashBox TV. maybe on Tuesday night's podcast we can come up with a prize for the best photo of how you and your friends are enjoying our live coverage here this weekend. Tomorrow morning we're again at Lake Eureka for the temporary course. In the afternoon at 1:30 approximately, we'll be having a final 9 for the top 4 open competitors. First place taking home more than $6,500 this weekend. Also a $20,000 check to be presented to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital of the Peoria chapter. Nate Heinold and Ledgestone Insurance, along with Discraft, doing a very enormous effort here to not only benefit both the players but as well as our local charity. Earlier in the year, the PDGA had teamed up with the St. Jude Research Hospital and raised nearly $250,000 for the children over at St. Jude.
He threw both, but like the flippy one and the straight one just all over the place. He wasn't that far off. Kept getting little kicks and weird lies.
We also have our Twitter feed up and running. Make sure you use hashtag Ledgestone Open. Maybe your tweet can be viewed on our show. Again, hashtag Ledgestone Open. That's been going on all weekend. I'd like to thank Paul Ashmore for his continued support and viewership. We know Paul is out there watching and taking it all in here this weekend. Paul doing some amazing things out in West Virginia and beyond. Also your sponsorship coordinator for the recent PDGA World Championships. Looking forward to working with Paul here in the future. And in just a few moments, our leader card will be ready on hole number 17. Again, 330 feet uphill through a narrow window. And then we will wrap up on the gorgeous hole 18, which also measures more than 600 feet. 2 beautiful holes here to complete this Morton course. Kelvin Heimburg on the tee. And with a lefty forehand, Zach Melton kicks on the right side, finishes left. Wysocki also catching a tree on the left-hand side. This is Paul McBeth with a champion Thunderbird. And McBeth has missed his line, however, it carried further than we had seen from the other 2 competitors who had caught the trees. And a very good kick here for Calvin Heimburg. Of course, he was hoping to get through there cleanly. However, he had thrown into the right-hand side, and it looked as if someone had perfectly thrown it back out into the center of the fairway for him. Again, frustrated with the slight misfire. However, if you're going to misfire and get a good kick, I guess that's one way to do it. Ricky Wysocki with awkward footing here as he's found himself in the middle of this ravine ditch-like area. And Wysocki's shot is coming out and just misses the basket. Wysocki throwing blindly up and around this hillside. Solid effort by Wysocki. That would have been one of the best shots we've ever seen. And Zach Melton's finding his line, the angle that he's going to take here. We feel a much stiffer wind coming towards, straight directly at him, in fact. Zach here taking his time to make sure he's able to find some way to navigate out of the woods here on the left-hand side of the fairway. He's looking at both forehands and maybe even a backhand or an overhand shot here. Zach Melton, of course, playing very well here during these first two rounds. Found himself on the leader card and just a few strokes off of the lead at the moment. Met up with Zach earlier in the year where I ran into him at the Throw Down the Mountain event in Florida, won by Michael Barnett, and have seen nothing but amazing things here from Zach throughout this year. He's put together a very solid performance. Also recently competed with Madison Walker at the mixed doubles at the Professional World Championships where they cashed. And Zach ends up with throwing an overhand, which gets out nicely. Next to throw will be Calvin Heimburg, I believe. Calvin throwing a champion rhino and right side of the pin. We'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in here today. We'd love your feedback. One way to interact with us is, of course, on the YouTube chat board. You're more than welcome to do that. However, if you'd like to send us any messages or post on our YouTube or Facebook wall, we'd appreciate that as well. And just like that, Paul McBeth. Unbelievable shot by Paul McBeth. What a shot. Paul McBeth goes champ Thunderbird for the first 300 feet, and then the remaining 75 or 80 feet, another champ Thunderbird shot. That is the type of things that you can expect from our four-time world champion, Paul McBeth. Ricky Wysocki is in. Left side chain and in for the lefty Zach Melton. And Heimburg is in. I had looked at him just a moment ago after that Paul McBeth throw in, and he just had a smirk on his face. He knows that sometimes when you're up against the greatest in the world, those are the types of things that you come to see. Paul McBeth frustrated with his tee shot, however, lined up perfectly, throwing a forehand shot in from probably close to 100 feet right here on SmashBoxxTV. If that doesn't get you jacked up about watching live disc golf, I'm not sure anything will. Moving over to the beautiful hole number 18, one of the best looking holes in all of Illinois disc golf, measuring in at 600 plus the very picturesque tee shot and a slight uphill slope. 660 feet. McBeth with with a destroyer yesterday. He did not put enough turnover on it and found himself in the woods. However, he was still able to get up and down for the birdie. And similar to what we saw yesterday, it seems as if he's made the exact same mistake as we saw yesterday.
Why do I do this to myself every time? So you put this destroyer and hide it.
And if Zach Melton's shot can finish to the right, he's going to put himself in a perfect position. And he has done just that. Perfect shot by Zach Melton. Ricky Wysocki with a turnover that is gliding out and will finish in the center of the fairway. He's also put himself in a great position. And Calvin may have put a little too much on his Star Destroyer, and that has turned over. We're going to have a little bit of a long walk, so we're going to take a few words from our sponsors before we can get to our approach shots. Again, you're watching the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open third round coverage. This is the final 9 of the third round. We'll be back with you in a few moments after a word from our sponsors.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
Calvin Heimburg setting up his shot. He may be to the right far enough that he's going to be able to go with a hyzer here. He has more than enough power to do so. That might be a Champion Firebird in his hands, if I recall. And he is. He's going big hyzer. And it gets caught up by a tree from this vantage point. Tough to tell if that has gone OB or not. I'm guessing he is inbounds, however, on the right-hand side of the trees. Ricky Wysocki will be throwing next. And Wysocki looking for a little magic of his own. However, he's going to be finishing the day off with a birdie. Zach Melton confirming that Paul McBeth has located his shot. I believe it's going to be Zach to throw next. Melton finishing, oh, just past the basket. Tomorrow morning's round is going to be exciting. It looks like we will more than likely have Paul McBeth and Simon Lizotte, unless something crazy were to happen. Right now it looks like Johnny McRae and Kale Leviska also potentially could be on our leader card tomorrow. Simon Lizotte sitting 10 under par. And similar to what we saw yesterday, Paul McBeth has thrown into a nearly identical spot that we saw yesterday. He threw a miraculous recovery shot, which put him up there near the basket. And yesterday McBeth had the means to be able to throw up toward the basket with a backhand. Today he was forced to throw a forehand, did not come out as cleanly. I've been informed there was a serious debate going on as to what the previous thrown-in shot was, which disc was used, and I believe that was in fact his St. Jude Thunderbird. It's the same one that I saw him throw off the tee yesterday. He threw it off the tee again today. And then when he was lining up that forehand shot, that's what he used for the throw-in on hole 17. Again, a champion Thunderbird by Paul McBeth. And McBeth's birdie attempt is left. And Heimburg's birdie attempt is short. Both Melton and Ricky Wysocki are going to have a look at threes from where they are. They're both within 15 feet of the pin. Wysocki finishes with a birdie. We expect the same of Melton. Another solid performance by Zach Melton. He will find himself in the top few cards tomorrow morning going over to the Lake Eureka course. And Paul's going to have to settle for a 4 after the misfire on the tee. We're going to move over and watch them add up their scorecards, see if we can possibly catch an interview with one of them shortly after they've completed their round here.
Paul 4. Yep. Zach 3, Ricky 3, Kyle 4. Yep.
Catch ever first round. Good.
Zach 3. Yeah. Calvin 4. Ricky 3.
Yeah, but I can't tell a fairway driver. I don't know where they're going. I didn't even make it halfway down that tunnel again.
Here's keyword this time. You're doing so good.
17, I didn't even make it to the top. I just threw it in. Sidearm.
Made it in the basket? You were in on 16?
I was just laying it up, and I was like, oh, I'll just throw this one. Hey, Terry, get out of here. I gotta get my layups. Layups gone bad, or gone good.
In just a few moments, as these gentlemen add up their scorecards, we're going to see if we can catch up and bring you a wrap-up interview here for our day. It's been a long day here on SmashBoxxTV, bringing you the coverage from the women this morning. We were especially excited to do so as we watch Val Jenkins retain her lead. However, Paige Pierce was closing in on her as we left them after their second round this morning. Rushed over here to bring you the final 9 holes out of the 18-hole round out at the Northwood course. I'm glad you guys could join us here today. A few final scoring additions here by the card. And I would love to give you an update here on the women. It's showing through 17 holes at the moment over at Bradley Park. This may or may not be perfectly up to the moment, but 17 holes. We've got Val Jenkins still with a 1-stroke lead over Paige Pierce. Katrina Allen with a 1-stroke deficit to Paige. So Val at 9, Paige at 8, and Katrina at 7. We're going to catch up with one 3-time, or correction, 4-time world champ in Paul McBeth. Paul, I think you just said it a moment ago, upshots gone wrong or upshots gone good. Hole 17. Let's start with the certainly one of the highlights today. Walk us through hole 17.
I'm just throwing my Thunderbird off the tee, trying to hit that gap and play it out to the left. But I threw another errant tee shot, especially with my fairways today, all day today. I didn't know where they were going. And that one kind of went left into the woods, and I was just going to lay it up, but my caddy was a little bit of ways, and I just said, all right, I'll throw this Thunderbird and put it under the basket. But the wind it was pretty windy up there, and just threw it right in.
Yeah, I had said moments before that happened that we felt a little bit of stiff headwind coming in, and maybe that lifted it just enough, and there was even a debate online as to what the disc was. But throw the same pro shot with the same tee shot, and, that's how you take it too.
Yeah, same champion Thunderbird.
That easy. Here you are sitting with a 1-stroke lead as of right now. We're waiting on Simon Lizotte to come in and get the final scoring, but it looks like you and him for sure will be on the leader card tomorrow, and you're heading out to Lake Eureka. I know you practiced that one hard. I know it's not your favorite course, but what's the plan out there?
I guess just stay in bounds, stroking distance on most of the holes. If not all of them, I'm not sure. I don't know. If I throw it outside the ropes, and I just know it's not going to be good.
Okay.
But yeah, you can only really practice that one once because you don't want to lose all your discs with everything right next to the water. So I don't know many people that practice it more than once, maybe twice.
Now today, I believe you had the same score that you had an opening round out here with 8 under. Does that sound correct?
Is that a 50? Yes. Yeah, same score.
Sure, we'll go with that. You had the same score. How would you compare this round to your opening round yesterday?
A lot more birdies this round, but a lot more bogeys. I had 4 fours that round, and they were just bad holes. Bad two birdie holes that I ended up fouring, which, I mean, one of them I can blame on myself. The other one was it was just, I guess I hit one too many trees with the disc where it got scraped on something. So one too many, or I guess 4 too many fours.
4 too many fours. Any fours are no good for you.
Yeah, so.
Unless you're a 4-time champ.
I guess.
He guesses. All right, this is Paul McBeth. We know Simon Lizotte is going to be on the card with him tomorrow. We're going to bring you all of that action at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning out at Lake Eureka. For Johnny V back home in the studios, for Joe Height on the catch camera, Gary to the O working the tethered camera to myself, I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. You sat here and watched the live action for this third round out here at the Ledgestone Insurance Open presented by Discraft. We're going to catch up with you guys tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at Lake Eureka when you step inside the Smash Box.
Yep, see you guys there.
Paul will see us there.